Welcome to the Black Sheep Researcher, where we search for truth, outcast style. Right, today's video is going to be about the Mandela effect. Now, not even a spoiler, I'm saying, if you're not interested in the Mandela effect, like, look away now, don't watch it. Like I said, I'm not as affected as a lot of friends, but through research and seeing residue, and residue just means you found proof that of the alternate memory. Now, as you know, I've done many videos on to show how memory is stored in water and things like that. Now, what it is about the Mandela effect always not concerned me. I was always interested to know why the origins of it, the possible origins of it, in my opinion, and I traced it back to the Sumerians and how can I pronounce it? They're like not magical or something. There is things called MEs, strange enough the same initial as the Mandela effect. Now the Sumerian MEs were our connection to gods, to the gods at the time. Now towns that had more MEs basically flourished. They seem to encourage, it's like the connection to the gods, like I said, but the affected geography, obviously how the lands, how music, everything that the Mandela effect is affecting, it seemed to enhance or work along that. And because a lot of things are happening lately, is it because of the connections being broke or disrupted, and or these MEs are stolen? It's like when the US invaded Iraq. The first thing they did was they went to the museum where all Sumerian tablets and other Sumerian artifacts were kept, and they looted them and left the gold. They wanted the knowledge, because we know knowledge is power. So what this video is, it's got me thinking, in Mandela effect, there is a lot of repeatable patterns that you can see. Now the pattern I'm talking about is how the letter A and E seem to be getting swapped and changed, and there's the S's as well and a few other things, but it's mainly A's and E's it gets affected. Now I always wondered why them letters more than any other letter. You know, for instance, the full words, and then it's generally the E gets took out, or the E gets put in, or the A gets replaced with an E, and so on. So it always got to me thinking why, because that's how I think. I just want to know why. It's good when you're looking for research and for residue and different things that's in that field, but I want to go deep. So this video is basically, I'm talking out loud to my friends, I'm sharing it's a deep thinking one, and I'm just trying to look for answers. So this is what I do. I make my videos and I learn a lot from the comments, where they help me in my journey to learn things, and hopefully this will inspire someone who can think better, got better skills at researching them, and so on, because this is how we are. There's always someone that can come up with something that you can't see a pattern in, and this is why I do research in my videos, so hopefully someone can then take that on and make it even better, or just appreciate for what it is. Like I said, I'm just making videos for like-minded individuals. Some people are not interested in the Mandela effect, and I'm not like some people in the community who are, oh, you're not into it. That is your wish, and I respect that wish. So when I make things, I want to make them for topics that's deep thinking. I'm not here to cause an outrage or offence by doing videos on certain things. That's just not me. I just want to make videos that I find interesting when it gets brought to my attention. So as we know, I've got my whiteboard for this. It's coming out for retirement. So you got to picture the A and E in Latin, and obviously the Mandela effect. Now on my whiteboard, hopefully you can see it. You can see the A and the E. That's basic. This is the most basic lettering how it's put out in Latin in particular. So, but like I've put underneath, do you notice it? Right? Can you see the A and the E? What's that? It's as simple as this. A and the E. It's a mirror. So when I noticed this, it got me thinking, it's a mirror, duality, It's the opposite. It's like the yin and yang. It's like the good and the evil. I believe in duality. I believe that has to be the opposite. So for me, the A and the E are the opposites. We know words are spells. That's why it's spelling and how you pronounce things. You are casting a spell. Now, these spells have effects. So it always got me interested in is why in words are we seeing changes with A and the E? What could it be? And I believe I might have found a plausible answer for me of why the A and the E's are swapping. Because of the duality. Now, first of all, I should have shot this first, but you can see it on the top. As you can see, mind my writing. You can see Latin is known as a dead language, right? And it's also known as the devil's language. So it's known to them few things. So just pardon, I've got that many notes everywhere. So it got me thinking, where could I take this? Why is the A and the E mirroring or duality? Why is it affecting that? Well, as you know, so a lot of research and things. Both the papists, like the people in religion, and the demons both speak Latin because they share a commonality. Well, it's God, and I'm not saying God just speaks in Latin, but do you know what I mean? This is where I just went my research. He does speak Latin. A lot of the religious texts are in Latin. Both demons and the church basically speak Latin. Why is it? For a reason. Is it because these words in Latin are different types of spells, hold different type of energy? What do they do? Now, years ago, if I'd have been talking like this and you met me in the street and said, Paul, this is what you've been doing for so many years, I'd have just laughed at you. But, well, not really laughed at you, because I've never really laughed at anything different. I would have just gone, nah. I was interested in so much different things. Always interested in ancient history and things like that. But I didn't connect the dots like I did now. It was so weird. And, like, people say, well, I don't believe it. And that's good, because I'm connecting the dots for me, and people who are on my frequency or think similar to me. You can always agree 100%. We all have a slight different wavelength, which, like the saying goes, you're not on my wavelength, but a lot of people are. A lot of people are liking my videos so far, so I just like to expand my thinking and get really deep on this. And I believe I've found, like I said, a plausible answer to me. Now, what I did was, so, I like to use the Latin converter. So I typed in the Latin converter. I thought, well, Latin, the dead language, obviously dead and alive, obviously the mirror, the duality. So I typed in dead into the Latin converter, and I got mortis, ESC, este, or est, how you say it. So it's mortis est pronunciation, just for the dead. Now, when I wanted to know, because you can also like redirect it and it gives you the saying back in English, and sometimes it's changed because pronunciation and spells are sometimes said differently. So I typed in the mortis est into the search engine, and what came up was so many different things, but all similar. And it then led me to a site, and I think I'll include the picture if I remember, and it come up what death and different things in different languages are. And we all know the famous ones like merte for death, and they sometimes use it for other things. But it came up Mora, was it, yeah, pronunciation, Morio, something like that. And that's spelled Morior. Now what I'll do is I'll rub it out, and I can show you guys what you can see, and you can see also in the clips. But if he if you can see a bit better as I'm talking, you can see what I'm thinking of now. So this came out when I put in about death. Now, I don't know if you guys know, I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I see things differently, and my spelling is awful, because sometimes the also doesn't correct it, especially when I'm doing my videos. So I apologise if anyone thinks he's lost his mind here. It's because I'm dyslexic. Right, so what came in to do with death was this. Morior. So I just said that Mario, Mario, but you know, Moira, whatever you want to pronounce it. But do you see what I see? That does not look too far off. I'll have a little minute. Go on, have a little minute. And what's he see now? What's he going to come up with? To me, that looks like. So, mind me spelling again. Mirror. Now, you get into deep thinking now, and you. So that is death, and it shares commonalities and the words with mirror, isn't it? I've quickly talked about duality, how it's known as a dead language. So obviously it's not the reason it's spoken because it's not really spoken now. It's done in religious text, like I've said, but it's a dead language. So I got that Moira, whatever his pronunciation is, mirror. So that brought me straight back to thinking, well, I've just talked about duality. So I've just talked about duality a little bit. Let me put my thing on that so it doesn't go. Talked about duality and how the word death I think it's pro-italic. The pronunciation was the Mora, and like Murti is other language. It wasn't. So I just saw that. It just jumped out on the page at me. I thought, wow, that looks like mirror. So I written it down and thought, well, mirroring. The A and the E. Remember the A and the E. You guys remember the A and the E, the mirroring. So that got me thinking, oh my god, where am I going to go with this now? Well, we know the A and the E mirror. Look, you turn it upside down. It's like the famous saying, like I did the last video titled it, as above, so below. So as above, so below, the mirror image. So I got to thinking, well, if you believe in the Mandela effect, and a lot of people don't, a lot of people do. Now, this is what it is. It affects memories, and I've talked about it in the past how our memories are stored in the greater consciousness, the fluid, the air around us, because a lot of sayings, a lot of life uses sayings to do with water. I talked about how the Phoenician, the Egyptian, the Hebrew word for water was memory. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not even talking about like the Mandela effect mirroring, which is memory as well, but that's just a strange coincidence. But I've talked about how it's a dead language, and it's mirroring the word. It's basically mirroring the word. To me, is mirror. So that is reflecting. This is why the A and the E are getting swapped around, because the A and the E are the mirror images. They are the yin and yang. They're the duality. So this is where I was going with this, thinking I need to just get this out of my head before I forget it. And if you are into the Mandela effect, you will see where I'm coming from. A lot of them, did you do the odd word in companies' names and that get changed from A's to E's, or the A and the E specifically are ones that get touched and changed. So that's why I had to come up with a way to describe that effect. Why is it happening? Do you know what I mean? Because that is just where I go with anything. I always want to know, how is that possible? Not just look for proof of the effect happening to them letters. There's loads of people who will do that. I just want to get to the bare bones of the word. I want to get to why is it happening. And I believe it's happening because the memories, like I said in spells, the core word, it's a dead language. The E's and the A's are a mirror image. Now, if you talk about how I just said at the beginning of this video, how I traced the Mandela effect back to Sumerian MEs, and they affect. You only have to type into Google Sumerian MEs, and it'll come up with, and it talks about how the connection to the gods. It affects music, food, different things, all the things that the Mandela effect is happening to. Now, I did this research with a fellow researcher ages ago, and no one really looks into it. We went deep, and a lot of people just not dismissive, but just because it's not like the residue, you should always want to know the reasons for things. Why is it happening? Who is it happening to? What is the benefit? What is the end game of it? So we need people to think of things. What's the end game? Why is it happening? So this is all these things are jumbling in my head, and I just needed to get it out for the people in the Mandela effect community, because we should all want to. We're all in communities. We're all in our truths. We all have our niche, our thing, what we want to research. I want to not dip my toe in things. I just want to see if I can figure out what these things mean in all the communities in the best way my mind can work, and get it out. And this is what, when I was seeing friends doing videos talking about the Mandela effect, we noticed patterns, the A's and the E's. Why is it happening? Well, now, in my head, I found a plausible answer to it. It's the mirror. It's the duality. The A is the E's duality, especially in Latin, in spells. So you go in really, I know you're going really deep and thinking about this, and a lot of people, oh God, you're going way off topic there, but no topic should never get untouched. Never. We are here to learn what we can and use what we can as power to get the evil that's running the place. We need to get, do you know what I mean? Knowledge is power, because we learn something. History is corrupted. Everything is corrupted. So we have to find the truth, the right, the goodness in all of these topics, and support them. You don't have to like it, you don't have to believe in it, but there's nothing you can do all this and support your fellow researchers by just appreciating they're putting the hours in, they're researching it, they're coming up with plausible things. I personally, when I do my find things and I find things different, I don't say it's 100%, because it can't be. There's no 100 proof. I'm just making like logical steps to show how this could be plausible. So I'm here now thinking, why is this A&E? And I was doing shows with my friend on Dose of Reality, or The Real News Online. You can just go on YouTube and search for that. And he's more Mandela affected than me, and a lot of people are. It's an ongoing joke, is if I'm spotting things in the Mandela effect, it's got to be big, because like I said, my heart's in other things, but that doesn't stop me researching a topic just because my heart's not in it. My heart's in it to research. I want to find the truth, but it's not I have so many other things that I want to look into, but I still look into these, even though I don't, it's not I don't want to, it's because there's people I respect in that field, and I want to help them if in any way. So it just come to me, the A&E, it's the mirror. So why is it happening? I believe it's a case of, are they corrupting it? Because I've talked about many in my videos how we have an antenna, a receptor, and I've talked about how our memories are stored in a fluid. Now, if you're not sure what I'm on about, just go onto my channel and look for Mandela effect memory, and that'll give you. And then there's a Mandela effect waves, bubbles, and it shows you. I don't want to go back on it, because obviously I'm talking about this, but it's a case of just like energy from spellings, from the words, from your thoughts. They're all waves. Words get waves in water. I showed a direct link to water to memory. So you just check them out, and this is what I'm elaborating on this now, is why is it happening to these waves? What's mirroring? Well, like I said before, as above, so below. In the Bible, it talks about the firmament separating the waters from the waters. Before Earth was formed as a rock base, It was water. That was here first. That is science saying that, not just me coming up with science saying it was the water first. Was it water? Is it the heavenly fluid? Is it our soul? Is this thing happening? Is it the duality? Is it the battle between our soul and our vessels? Vessels. People like to call us vessels, only vessels for the soul. What is a vessel? It's a nautical theme. It's a nautical topic. Vessels on the sea. So all these things, even the law, it's Admiral's law. It's the law of the sea that they use. So that's another topic. Should people look into? I've not really looked into it because it's a minefield. There's just a lot of things on it. But I do know the law in the courts is all to do with being at sea. So all these things linking to water, are they trying to show us that we're more than what we think? You know what I mean? 70% water, 30% land, 70% water inside. Do you know what I mean? So you can see all this water based. So I was going to the bit now. Oh, mirror and why the nautical theme? It's so crazy. So the reason for doing this is because I wanted to get this theory out and see what you guys think. Why are the A and the E in the community getting swapped around? And I believe I found it. As I said, it's the duality. Both of them are the mirror images of each other. You just turn them upside or whatever. Which way you want to look at it. It's like you having a mirror above your bed. It's the mirror image of you. It's the duality. So that's what it is. Now, what is breaking this connection to our memories, to our soul? Because if, like I said, our souls are carried in these vessels, but lack of quotes of different done and different things, we're on an ongoing battle for it. Do you know what I mean? People don't realise we vibrate. Do you know what I mean? We're frequencies, we're waves. Do you know what I mean? Like my good friend Gloria says, when you sit down, you're not actually sitting down, you're hovering over it. Do you know what I mean? People don't realise we're not a solid object. Everything is made up of atoms vibrating at a frequency. It's just how we put things together when we look. We put it into 2D or 3D shapes and solid objects. And it's a sensation of when you touch. It's a sensation. It's waves going up to your brain and your synapses and things like that. So it's making it feel solid. But back to this. Why is it happening to these specific words? And why not to the full words? Now, this is what's getting me. I just don't know why. But I do know why it's happening to the A and the E, because they are the duality. So a full sentence, there's no duality really for it because it's a full word. But specific words can be mirror imaged. And that's the A and the E. Is it the case of... people think, so a lot of people believe it's CERN causing the Mandela effect. I don't believe it is in what people think. I believe CERN, there's 30,000 of them, they are producing frequencies. They want to disrupt the signals, our connection to God. Now, people say, oh, well, I don't believe in the Sumerian gods. It's a case of we only know what we're told. All history is written. The Bible was written by man. I know it's the word of God, but it was written by man. People are fallible. Do you know what I mean? So this got to me. The devil's language, it's angels and demons share that language. So what is happening to these letters that we're seeing? Is it the frequencies of CERN or something else breaking our connection from our receptors to our souls, the internal receptor, and we're seeing duplicate memories? Because people say, oh yeah, memories is physical. Nothing is physical in this world, in this realm. We're all vibrating. It's sensation. Can people, you know what I mean? That's all when people think, oh, well, the Mandela effect is physical. Everything is vibrating. It's a wave. It's a frequency. That is what, basically, in essence, we are. So what is affecting the frequency to just happen to these words? Is it shown as a sign? Is it a case of we're seeing memories stored and we download them? Is it a question someone asked and questioned, how can it be if it's physical? Well, we're not physical, I've just said that. But you think about this now, is if you've got a memory of something and you go along with my theory and you upload these thoughts to the consciousness, to the soul, we could case have like not two memories in such, but the duality. We could have our soul's memory. Basically, you know, when people believe in reincarnation, our soul's memories and our vessel's memories, and they're clashing. This could possibly be an answer. And then you got to think, like I said, what is breaking it? Could it be CERN? Could it be something else? I've talked about many times how they're chemtrailing in 5G. Is it 5G? The radiation, the microwaves, are they disrupting because they have effect on the brain? You've always got to look at things and not dismiss them, because you can find connections in places that you don't realise. And this is what my goal is, to find connections that mean something to me and hopefully means something to someone else. And that is basically what I'm talking about in this video. I don't know how long ago, but like I said, it's a dead language, and it's known as the devil's language. Both the good and evil use Latin. The A and the E are mirror images. So if our realities are shifting or getting mirrored, it would happen to words that can be mirror imaged. They can be the same letter in both realities, as above, so below. The dead, it was that mirror, is mirror. Everything is mirrored. And that is why a lot of people believe in the duality. Even myself, there's always good and there's always bad in everyone. But what effect is, people's mirrors, or the duality as you can call it, are all different, because that's what makes us unique. You might, like I said many times, you might think something is fine. I might think something is, no, I don't believe in that. And that's fine. That's what makes us unique. So I just wanted to get this quick theory out. It's a minefield. It could go on forever, but I just needed to get it out. It's crazy. A strange coincidence. Now I'll mention this. My friend's area where he lives is changed. It's been Mandelaed, and there's so much residue. People think, oh God, will your live change? Listen, even for people who, like I said, I'm not on the border because I believe in the Mandela effect. I'm not into it as much as other people, because we all want to do what we really interests us. But where he comes from it was known as Centerville, and everything's changing to Centralville. Now, on his show, like I said, you just go to his channel, like I said before, he's phoned up different places, and they've answered the phone as Centerville. So why the change? It's so crazy. And I was looking into it. So the Centerville, obviously centre sometimes is spelt with, like, this is my dyslexic coming in, so I could be off here. Centre sometimes spelled ending in TRE, isn't it? Centralville, the R. So the R's are mirroring, and the ER, so the E and the R. Now if you put ER together, so you get ERRE, so like that is another nautical word. It means vessel. So when we talk about the Mandela effect, are we talking about how the mirror, that's a new word that I could come up with, the mirror effect between dualities is being affected between our soul and our mind and our vessel and other people, the memory in the water. So do you know what I mean? Like, no, he's going crazy. I'd just like to research, like I said, anything. I never say no to anything. Do you know what I mean? I do try and stay away from religion, really, because people get a lot aggressive about religion, and that's why I stay away from it. Because, like I said, I'm not here to offend anyone. I pronounce so many things so many wrong, and I don't want people to get upset because I say something different or it's not like that. So that's why I try and stay from that. Because and like I said, if you want to talk about religion and different things, there's plenty loads of good people on the internet. We'll do videos on religion. You know what I mean? And I'll stick to doing everything else that they won't touch. The black sheep is in essence. So the point of this video is just getting why the A and the E, why were they always getting changed in the Mandela effect? And I believe, like I said, I believe I've come up with it. It's a duality. It's the mirroring between our souls and God's consciousness, basically. Because a lot of people believe that when God thinks, we became, do you know what I mean, as we are. So you can talk about how we are basically thought from God. And a lot of things to do with water. Remember, the water was here first. We basically, the air we breathe is a fluidy gas. So, and the clouds float. Like I said, the sayings go on. It's all nautical themed. The court, the law is all the sea. You know, the law of the sea. And it's just too much to not think of this as a theory. So people screaming, especially Glory, if you're watching it, oh, you should mention it. It's going to be ongoing, this. And, sorry, I always do my better thinking when I have people coming back at me. Unfortunately, when I'm doing these, I'm just talking to the screen and you guys. But hopefully you can see how I come to these things, and I'm trying to explain my things as best as I can. Sometimes it doesn't come out because, like I said, I'm very dyslexic, and if the correct, you know, the autocorrect doesn't work, I don't see it. Do you know what I mean? I just see weird things in words as it is, and that's why I come up with the mirror from that. But it's plausible. So round up now. You've got the Latin is known as the dead language and the devil's language, or the pig's Latin, sometimes people call it. So both the papists and demons both speak Latin because they share a commonality, and God. Am I saying God speaks Latin? Like I said, it's probably one of many languages, but for this, they both share it, and that's the mirror image, good and the bad. And I then typed in dead, got Mortius, that came up with the mirror, basically. So that got me thinking, the A and the E mirrors, because you can just turn it upside down. So it's like a mirror image. So that's why it's happening to them words, because they're the mirror image. Now you could thinking, like I've said, why is it happening to them specific letters? Because whatever's happening with our reality, our frequency, is being corrupted. Now that could be CERN, that could be chemtrailing, because like I said, or 5G, basically the blanketing us in with all the particles from the spraying. The 5G then is bouncing, hitting up and coming down. It's basically we're in like a cooker. So this is affecting our ability for memories. People are forgetting things, and that's why I came with the Mandela effect memory and the wave bubbles, because energy can get stored in objects. So why not waves? Your thoughts. You pick up an object sometimes or something, and you can remember things when that object. So in a way, it is your memories can get stored. So like I said, I'm just so new coming up with this thing. I only thought about it this morning. It just came to me, so I needed to get it out quick fashion. I'm not make myself look crazy. So for anyone who's like into the Mandela effect or into deep thinking, you can see where I'm coming from. I know from watching the shows and seeing things, the A and the E always seem to be getting, they're the two, along with S, getting affected. Because they're the mirror images. And if our realities are not merging but getting disrupted, the connection between them both is getting broke or heavily mirrored in essence. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to, like I said, science is trying to do things like time crystals and quantum mechanics. A lot of people believe quantum physics is another reason behind it. And like I said, I've not looked into that enough to form an opinion. But we're all basically zero, binary code. So if things are getting mirrored, our memories are getting altered. We remember different things. Remember, nothing is physical. We're all waves, we're all frequencies. It's the sensation that's the solid. So hopefully you guys will understand where I'm coming from this. It was just about the A and the E, and I just wanted to show you how I got there, how it's got to do with Latin, and it's a mirror image. And that is why it's getting disrupted. Now, that could be another video and more deep when I get really more into it of what's happening. And like I said, you always see them things, don't you? It's a battle between our soul and evil. And we know words are spells. That's why they say spelling. Now, some people will think, oh, well, it's just words. They don't mean anything. Words mean a lot. Do you know what I mean? That's why you have propaganda. Because it means a lot. So thanks, guys. I'll do more on this. And hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. The reason I did this video, why is the A's and the E's getting affected? Because the mirror images. Right, catch you guys.